Hi Scorpio, this is your May 2019 reading. Scorpio, in the month of May, we are initiating a new contract, a new agreement, a new commitment, a new partnership is coming through. We have a beautiful new moon which is happening on 4th of May 2019, which will initiate a new contract, a new commitment, a new long-term abundant contract which will help us propel us forward away from a stagnant position. We are looking to move away from a position which is not serving us well, which is not giving us the kind of excitement, the kind of innovation, the kind of freedom we are looking for. We are breaking free from that situation and moving into something that is more exciting, that gives us more abundance, that gives us more assets, that is more in line with our purpose, that is more in line with the kind of abundance, the kind of excitement we are looking for. And this is a long-term contract, a commitment coming through our way, which we might have been working on over the last 6 months. We are looking to finally put a closure to our effort for the last 6 months, and there is a major closure which is coming at the end of the month with the full moon in our sign Scorpio. On 18th of May we have a full moon in our sign which is coming with Uranus. There is excitement there, there is innovation there, there's a little bit of surprise, even surprising information that is coming our way, because the whole story has not revealed itself right now. When Sun is moving ahead of Mercury and Venus, which it is doing right now all the way till 21st of May, we tend to see activities happen before we have full information. We sort of have things happening, or we are expected to act before the full story reveals itself. So there is a discovery of mystery, the making sense of things which will happen in due course as the month progresses. There might be a surprising information that comes to light around 8th of May as a follow-up to the new moon. There might be further information that comes around 18th of May on our partnership, on our relationship, which could be more personal in nature, which could be more emotional in nature, which could be more money related on 18th of May. And that comes with the closure of an old phase of our life and us moving forward. But throughout this month and all the way till September 2019, Scorpios, we are being asked to release our boundaries of thought processes, our boundaries that have been hemming us down, that these are the things that we tell ourselves that we cannot do more than this. This is the boundary of my ambition. This is the boundary of my courage. This is the old way of functioning, and this is how far I will go. We are being asked to release the fears, release the boundaries to our own courage, to our own self-expression right now, because the old patterns, the old way of communicating with our surroundings, the old way of coming across to our clients, to our partners, will not serve us well going forward. We are being given a chance to release our fears, release our way of communication, release our old thinking pattern that is not serving us well anymore. We are being asked to move with faith. We are being asked to take a leap of faith. We are being asked to communicate more with our surroundings. We are being asked to open up to our surroundings and believe that our surroundings, that our immediate environment, that the people around us will support us in what we are trying to do. We have been given the gift of knowledge, the gift of voice, the gift of words, the gift of communication. Our words have power. Our words have impact. We have commercial impact. We have emotional impact. We have an impact which we can make in the world right now. We are being given the gift of gap which Martin Luther King had from birth, who had Pluto in the 3rd house like we have right now. But now is the time to make use of that. We have to deliver on it. We have to deliver on that gift now. So we have been working hard on it, but there is something which is holding us back from communicating effectively, from coming up fully out with our personality, coming out with our higher knowledge. We have been blocking our higher knowledge, our communication to some extent. We are being asked to release that boundary, that control a little bit, so we can make way to this higher channel that we've been gifted with, the impact we have been gifted with. Hold it lightly, the form, the devices, the language skill, the communication, getting into too much of detail. Hold it loosely and let the higher knowledge through, let the faith through, let the big picture prevail. Let the belief prevail. Don't try to figure out the details right now. Don't try to figure out how will I get there? How will I make it a success? You are being given a gift. Accept that. Move forward with faith on that, and the details will fill in. Details will come in time. So let's dig into the details. I'm very, very excited about this month because there is a lot of Uranian activity happening. There are a lot of surprises in store for us. And Uranus, when it starts acting and meeting our planets, we are given freedom, we are given excitement, we are given innovation, we are given a chance to break away from the old. And God knows we can do with breaking away with the old. So I hope you look forward to this month as much as I do. Let's dig into the details now. As usual, I'll leave the timestamp in the comments for you to come back to. Let's dig in. As we start the month, we have Saturn and South Node together, and they're going to stay together for the next 5 months. This is a long process of us releasing an old hindrance. There is an old hindrance that we re-encounter right now, which will be felt very, very strongly at the start of the month. It is like we will not be able to progress forward without getting through that wall. And that wall could be a communication not happening, or us not being able to effectively communicate our point of view to create an innovation at work. We want to start something new. We want to pioneer something new at work, or maybe in our health sector, we want to start a new health routine, but there is something within our mindset, within our ability to communicate our point of view, which is holding us back. And we can see the light. We know this will be successful. There's a lot of faith, there is a lot of confidence, but an old pattern of thinking, an old issue comes back to handle. This could be issue in our own communication style, in our own blockage in our mind of an old way of thinking which we need to release. It could be fear, apprehensions, or something that is curbing our desire to explore, to discover, to relate more to life. This could be an internal judgment. This could be feeling of hostile environment. We feel that the environment around us is hostile, and that curbs our self-expression. Pluto is digging deep right now. It's showing us the gap in our ways of handling certain situations where we are giving our power away. Where we're giving our power away of making an impact by talking about the things that matter to us. Now we start creating new rules of the game. There is a new code of conduct which is getting created. A new rule of engagement with your immediate environment which is getting created. An old rule needs to be broken, needs to be changed. An old barrier of communication needs to be broken, needs to be changed right now for you to explore this fully, to get the commercial success that you deserve, to get your publication out, to get your words out, to get your higher mind being put in a physical form. You are being propelled towards your karma. You're being propelled towards delivering your destiny by releasing an old way of thinking, an old way of communicating, an old way of holding our words back when we should be speaking our mind. You feel that you might be misunderstood. You maybe don't feel safe to express yourself. Maybe we are putting too much of reasoning here. We are trying to justify things too much. Or maybe there is a negative thought process, a wasteful communication which is holding us back. Just an email not going through. We have been waiting to send this email to an authority figure, but we don't, because we don't feel rightly propelled right now. But releasing that fear, releasing that boundary, there is a huge amount of an upside to it. It will directly propel us to our 9th house matters, which is publication, travel, adventure, taking a risk, learning more, print, media, legalization. The call to adventure is asking us to remove this fear, remove this restriction, remove this boundary right now. And we'll be hitting that boundary hard at the start of the month. We'll feel it very, very strongly between 1st and 3rd of the May, just as a precursor to the new moon. Just right when the things are about to get better, we do hit a wall because there is a restriction, there is a boundary, there is a thing which is supposed to be changed for us to be more successful. And we cannot have something new come about in a mindset which is still focused on the old. So there is an old chapter that needs to be put to rest. There is an old way of thinking, an old way of that I do not deserve this, that kind of a mindset, or I cannot make an impact here, that kind of mindset. Old dynamics are re-experienced, but we are given the gift of detachment over here to handle the situation differently. Now that you know what you're capable of, how would you handle this power dynamic differently? How would you handle the situation differently now that you know what you're capable of? And the next 5 months, we rewrite the rules of our life. Shackles are coming off. We are fixing a karmic weakness in our way of running our life. We're setting up new boundaries here. Where did we in the past say yes when we should have said no? There are certain errors of our ways which were made in the past, which are displayed to us, which took our power away, which are shown to us. This is a major crackdown. This is not a shift that comes easily. This is a shift which happens once in lifetime. I do not even have a record of when we had Saturn and South Node together in Capricorn, and not at least in the last 2 centuries. So in our lifetime, we have never had this opportunity to release and change completely, reformat the way we think, reformat the way we interact, reformat the way we generate ideas and present to people. There's a belief in your higher purpose of your creation that comes about, that lets you open these boundaries to words, these boundaries to thought process, these boundaries and fears that we are putting on ourselves. There is a faith beyond yourself which comes through. And at the start of the month, you'll feel this looks difficult to happen. But as the month progresses, Saturn and South Node come in positive energy with the new contract you are starting. So you start receiving the support. As I mentioned in the introduction, Sun is moving ahead of Mercury and Venus. So we have to act on the good faith that things will fall in place. We are expected to act before we know that things will come through. And then they come through. And then they start coming through from about 8th of May. We start finding the missing pieces of information. We start finding the acceptance. We start finding the approvals of our ideas, but we have to act before the approval is coming through. There is a barrier that needs to be broken for us to be able to present our innovative ideas at work, for us to be able to speak our mind, for us to be able to deliver our gifts, our higher purpose, our creation. And that's exactly what we do. And we go ahead and get engaged in a different fashion when the new moon happens. The new moon that is happening on 4th of May is happening at 14 degree of Taurus. This is a degree of Taurus. Taurus is a fixed sign like ourselves, but 14 degree of Taurus is 1 degree in that sign, which is very, very evolutionary in nature. In Sambian astrology, it is shown as crayfish are groping towards the land, while high above the shore, a modern city rises upon the ruins of an ancient civilization. This is a degree of evolution of mankind. This is a degree of us moving away from stagnant water and taking the small measured steps for a tidal shift. We are moving out of the muck, moving out of stagnancy, moving out of prejudice, moving out of an oppressive situation. We are not getting stuck anymore. And you're moving from the past energy of fire and fury, which we had last month of Aries, to a more earthy, abundant, grounding energy. Taurus moon is a beautiful moon. It's about tasteful things. It's about finding value, finding abundance, finding assets, finding more financial growth, finding more long-term abundance. something substantial and material is initiated on the new moon, which happens on 4th of May, which is happening in your house of contracts, in your house of committed contracts. So a new client contract, or a new professional contract, or a new business partnership, or a new phase in your relationship begins. This is a fresh energy that is getting infused, which has abundance and success written over it. We initiate things that are substantial and material here. They are solid, they are long term, they have results, they have more solid grounding in them. And there are no direct aspects to this new start, except it's happening at the very degree of star of Alamak, which is known for artistic fame, which is known for popular influence, which is known for benefits from others, which is known for fame, which is known for prominence. This is the degree of Audrey Hepburn, this is the degree of Adele, this is the degree of George Clooney, Bob Seger, Ronald Reagan, Karl Marx. This is an evolutionary degree with the quality of Venus, which is success, beauty, abundance, and the quality of Mars. So it's not a stagnant degree, it's a degree of human evolution. It's a degree of people who are beautiful and cheerful, but they like change. It's one degree in Taurus that's not truly fixed. So we go with tenacity, we go with determination, we go with persistency to demand something better for us. We respect our right to own something and go and ask that. This is a natural evolution of our social structure. We are pressing forward despite the resistance we felt at the start of the month and towards the last of the month. And we will continue to face that resistance to some extent. As I said, we are being expected to act before all the things fall in place. For example, right after the new moon, between 6th to 9th of May, Venus meets the exact same T-square that we had at the start of the month, which Mercury felt. What do? We persist, we move forward. There's a breakthrough that happens from an old pattern and we initiate things. We get some support because we are initiating things. Around 2nd and 3rd of May, when we have this T-square with Mercury forming, you will find that there will be a modification in the way we act that will be required. So this new moon, which comes at an evolutionary degree, it intends to change the way we act, change the way how our desired actions are. When we know how to get to where we want to go, how do we behave? Because our ruler Mars is sitting in the house of rebirth. So we are creating a rebirth for ourselves. This is our self-initiated rebirth that we are having. But it's meeting Jupiter on 5th of May. So there is an over-the-top action that is possible to happen. It is a very good aspect to break through, to get through, to have the confidence to break through to the other side. We'll feel very powerful. We'll feel that our desires are amped up. Our confidence is amped up. You want more and you think you know how to clearly get that. But we might take in more than we can chew. We might overestimate our capability to do things. We can get over-invested financially as well. So being a little bit careful on how we act when we are so amped up. There will be a lot of dogmatic energy on 5th of May. 5th of May is a very, very volatile day from global events perspective as well. This is a day where my way or highway energy will be very, very rife. Only I can do the right thing will be very, very rife. So try to change your desire action when you know in your heart what you want and you can see things are coming through. We will be asked to act more responsibly. Because in the season of Taurus, we attract, we lure. Great things and positive news come to us. We do not have to chase them. We do not have to get compulsive or forceful right now. That energy will be met with resistance. How we act when we are getting things our way would have to be changed. You feel you know what needs to be done, how it needs to be done. But that execution will be met with ego struggles and forceful controlling arguments if we go in forcefully. Being less compulsive, letting the guard a little bit down, being less forceful with things. Our desired action and the way we act and our self-expression will require a little bit of compromise here. But we will go further than we have before. We will get more financial abundance with that. We will get our point of view across with that. This is a very, very positive new moon with no challenges. Only support coming through from 8th of May. But before we get to 8th of May, there are certain shifts which we will be shown that we need to do in the way we act to get to our path, to get to our goal. And then from 8th of May, we have a breakthrough coming through. On 8th of May, Mercury and Uranus meet together. So there is some surprising piece of information that might come through. It could be a sudden realization, sudden communication, suddenly finding the missing piece of information, which could be very exciting. It could be an idea which comes through, and we need to keep our mind a little bit open on that day. This could be a new way of handling the situation that comes through. And unexpected news can come through. We need to keep ourselves a little bit flexible around 8th of May when that happens, especially if you are October born. Now the new start that is happening on 4th of May is happening at 14 degree of Taurus. 14 degree of Taurus is so if you have planets around 14 degree of Taurus, or if you're born around 6th of November, you'll feel this very, very strongly. You'll feel like a new contract coming through, something completely new for a long period of time happening for you. And this is happening at a location, at the position in the chart where something ended in November 2014. So if you could look back to November 2014, if you had something, especially if you have planets around 14 degree of Scorpio, or if you're a Scorpio sun born around 6th of November, if something ended in November 2014, you might experience a completely new positive start in that direction. And this will be related to your career. This will be related to something to do with the title you hold. And even if it is happening in your personal life, so it's a personal partnership that is coming through, it has a title to it. So it has a formal announcement to it. For example, 14 degree is the son of Emma Stone, and there are rumors that she's engaged, and I think there's possibly an announcement coming on her marriage around that time. So if it's a new partnership, of marriage partnership coming through, there is a formal announcement of that, which might come with a sudden bang around 8th of May, sudden surprise coming through at the time. And then following that, we start getting the support for this new start. Sun makes positive aspects with Pluto and South Node on 11th and 13th of May. That is support coming through. This is like some work that you've done in the past whose positive karma is coming through. Support and recognition for past work which is coming through. And you start seeing some benefits come through of that authority support, or some contract getting a formal go-ahead. And you see that it shows up in the way you'll connect with people. It will show up in the authority you'll feel when you're discussing things with your clients, with your partners. 13th of May is a very, very powerful day. It's a day when you can make huge amount of impact and you get keen insight. It's great for changes. It is great for any business negotiation. Of 13th and 14th of May, both are excellent for business negotiation. Even a few days later, when Mercury meets Pluto, I think that's 18th of May. That's also a great time to negotiate something. With if it's a commercial transaction that you've been working with a client on, both 13th of May and 18th of May are excellent time to do that. 13th of May is a little bit better because you have Virgo moon, and that is in positive energy with you. But even 18th of May, when your full moon is there, there might be a contract coming through, and ahead of that, you might be negotiating that. And that can result in a closure at the time. What we need to be careful about is that Jupiter right now is retrograde. The monetary benefit of it, or as big as we want this to be from a money perspective, from material assets perspective, it might require some adjustment. Because Jupiter is right now retrograde, so the material commercial events, material assets even might take time. It might be till June maybe when the things on the financial side are resolved. If that is what is under question right now. So the desire to push beyond the limits, to increase the assets, to increase what you earn out of this new start, this contract, that might require a little bit more time. Enjoy what you're getting right now. It will help you move forward in that direction. Don't and I'm telling this to myself as well, don't create anxiety about, can I get more here financially, or from, can it get bigger than what it is right now? It will get bigger. Jupiter is retrograde right now. Jupiter will grow the financial value of it once it meets Sun around June. And then we'll see further growth of this to the next level. 11th and 12th of May, when Leo moon is there, that can be a little bit of high on the emotions day. So just be on lookout for that. But other than that, I think the surprising days are 8th of May, as I said, and a few days before and after that. So 7th to 9th of May, there might be a new set of information that comes through. Then on 15th of May, we have Venus moving into your house of partnership. This is beautiful for long-term relationships. This is beautiful for creativity. This is beautiful for abundance as well. Venus is very, very happy when it's in Taurus. So the Venusian themes are highlighted, which is matters related to love, matters related to heart, matters related to abundance, finances. They work better. The investment opportunities, they come out to be better quality. The things we want to buy, we are able to get more quality things, more quality objects after that. So it's better to invest after 15th of May when Venus is in Taurus. And also Mercury will become visible on 14th of May. So the information starts getting more clearer after that. More importantly, on 15th of May, our ruler Mars moves into 9th house of adventure. We start feeling more adventurous in our action. We feel that some weight has been lifted and we are ready to go. And we start feeling frisky. We start feeling ready to travel. We start feeling like taking a leap of faith. We start acting in good faith right now. And that helps us. That helps us move forward right now. And that is followed up with Mercury and Saturn meeting together, and Mercury and Pluto meeting together on 16th and 18th of May. This becomes the time when something is formalized. So if there was a new contract that came through, the documentation of that, the signatures of that, the negotiation of that might happen around 16th and 18th of May. And then we'll move on to working on the proceeds of that partnership. So if it is a relationship that has started, the intimacy in that, and if it is a new financial contract, then the actual proceeds of that partnership, the financial discussions of all of that will happen after 21st of May when we have Sun and Mercury both move together. And there'll be a lot of activity of financial nature that will initiate after that. You'll be looking to get the right kind of share. You'll be looking to even have a makeover to some extent, just going in for a rebirth, complete change now that you know that there is something new you want to go after and you want to work on. And that brings me to the 18th of May full moon, which is happening at 27 degree of Scorpio. This is a beautiful, beautiful full moon. It's very deep, very mysterious, very soul evoking. It's where the truth and the raw power of Scorpios comes out. There's a chapter, an old chapter, which is coming to an end. We are ending an old way of being and initiating a new phase of our life. We are uncovering our own depth, our own power. The emotions that are felt here, they're very, very deep. The intensity is high. And on the same day, we have Venus and Uranus moving together. So there's a surprise element. There's a further excitement, further feeling of freedom in our heart chakra that is felt. And there could be an actual relationship surprise as well that might come through. This is a date with destiny. So unexpected financial event, unexpected event with partner, with desire, with women, and a freedom that comes with it. That comes through on 18th of May. And the new moon, the full moon is happening at 27 degree of Scorpio. So if you have planets around 27 degree of Scorpio, or if you're born around 18th or 19th of May, you'll see a major chapter ending. Us moving away from the lower mind, from a different way of being, to a higher power, to a higher way of being. It's not about the outer show anymore. Spirit is what is evoked here. The core is evoked here. Healing is evoked here. We're receiving insights from a higher realm here. This is a very, very deep full moon. And in Samian astrology, it is shown as the king of fairies binds affectionately over the sleeping figure of Puck and sprinkles him with pixie dust. It's magical in nature. It's dreamy in nature. We recenter ourselves spiritually here. It's fantastical in nature. It's like it's like a little bit of a dream. It's the son of Jodie Foster, of Meg Ryan. These are like fairies. This is like a fantastical world, and of excellence. We are moving away from the old phase into a successful one. This is the Neptune of Matthew McConaughey. He's an experience in himself. This is a deep, deep full moon. And there's a very old phase, a deep embedded way of being that is coming to an end with it. And we are starting something with the pixie dust. This is a detox which is happening. And finances are always highlighted when the full moon happens in our sign, because Scorpio, we are a sign of that rules financial markets, that rules occult, that rules depth, that rules oil industry. So there's an event usually seen in that direction when full moon happens in our sign. And the moon rules adventure in our chart. So this will feel very adventurous. This will feel like we're ready for something higher. We'll feel that we're ready for going for a higher realm. A purpose of existence is coming into presence. We're finding a higher meaning of being. And Mars is also there. Our ruler is also in the 9th house right now. So it's all about communicating from a higher place. It's all about travel. It's about adventure. It's about finding yourself. It's about moving away from the old phase. And on 21st to 23rd of May, when Moon meets Pluto, Saturn and South Node, you'll feel it in your bones. You'll feel it emotionally very strongly between 21st to 23rd that there is a detox of an old phase that has happened and a new phase begins. This is happening at the son of Jack Dorsey, the CEO of Twitter, the chairman of Twitter and CEO of Twitter. Twitter is what I think one of the actresses defined it as the gutter of internet. It's the definition of third house for me. It's the lower mind. Moving away from the lower mind, ending a phase, maybe changing the way Twitter is right now, considering the things that are happening in the world environment, which it is contributing to the hate to some extent, contributing to the negativity to some extent, moving away from an old phase to a more abundant tomorrow, to a more positive tomorrow. And we end stagnancy with the new moon, and we end an old phase with this full moon. And something new begins. On 22nd of May, when we have Mars and Uranus together, you feel that your actions are in line with the innovation you demand. Their actions are in line with you wanting to stir things up. You'll feel a little bit rebellious, more freedom seeking. You want excitement, and you're getting the opportunity to get excitement right now. And the opportunities that are coming your way, they are unique in nature. Ambition is stoked up. We are very, very activated. It's a very, very liberating time, both in our personal life and in our professional life. And Neptune and North Node meet together, we get this inspiration that we are on the path to our destiny. We get the clear signals that we are on the path to our destiny. And then on 23rd of May, we have Mars and Chiron moving towards. Chiron is all about healing our wound of not finding our individual identity in the work we do. And now we are working towards creating an identity which is unique to ourselves. So the way you act right now, your actions, whether you're going in for publication, or you're going for a travel, or you're going for an education, or you're going for a travel, or you're doing another form of leap of faith which expands your mind, you are honoring your individuality there. And Chiron heals you there. Our ability to take a leap of faith heals us physically, mentally, and in our health department. So breaking this barrier, taking control of our thinking patterns, it will contribute to our healthy body, and it will make us successful in career. And you will speak up. The shackles are being taken off. You will speak up. 24th to 25th are 2 days which can be a little bit of high on emotions. So being a little bit careful. When Chiron is activated, our old pain is activated. And that could be in the health area. It could be in the area of work, because this is like a detox that's happening. So when we are acting, we are healing, but the pain wakes up in the past of not being appreciated for our individuality, and that will show up in visibly around that time, especially around 23rd of May, 26th of May, you'll feel it. But you are healing from it. 26th to 28th, when Pisces moon is there and it meets Neptune, it heals you. There's a lot of positivity that is coming through. Being careful on 29th of May. I spoke about it in the last video. Towards the end of April as well, we had this aspect with Mars and Neptune. We again have with Mercury and Neptune. Being a little bit careful on 29th of May of misinformation. There will be some amount of gossip doing rounds. Being careful about financial misinformation on 29th of May. I will request you not to sign any documents on 29th of May. It's a great day for getting into depth in terms of creativity and going into depth in occult and creating something very, very fantastical, but it's not a great time to sign a document. Then on 30th of May, we have Venus meet Saturn, Pluto, South Node. It's a very, very positive impact. We see the abundance coming through from the new contract. We see the positivity of it. And on 31st of May, we have Mercury and Jupiter meeting together. So there's some financial element that you're working on. You're working on the proceeds of this contract or the proceeds of your relationship. And there might be some positivity which is coming through. But again, as I mentioned earlier, right now, Jupiter is retrograde. So the financial impact right now will be muted as compared to what it can be. And it will come in time. So being a little bit conscious of that fact. So we have an exciting month ahead of ourselves. Good luck for that, Scorpio. I'll see you in June now. Good luck.